Hey Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews, and welcome back. I can't believe the fall season is just around the corner. But I do like the beers that come out in the fall. So we're getting into the season of the pumpkin ales and the fall ales and the autumn ales, and I'm going to be reviewing my first fall beer of the season. And this is the one from Gritty McDuff's in Portland, Maine. This is Gritty McDuff's Halloween Ale. The Gritty McDuff Halloween Ale has been around since 1990. The brew pub itself has been around longer than that. This is actually, even though it's labeled a Halloween ale and only is available in the fall months, it's actually simply an extra special bitter, an ESB, which I sometimes like to refer to as an English style bitter because it's something that originated in England. The ESB style is a popular style in Europe, particularly in England, and this is usually a fairly well-balanced malty and hoppy characteristic. Goes back to the mid-1800s. It's bitters are popular in the brew pubs and in the pubs in Europe. So this particular one, this Gritty McDuff's beer, has an expiration date on the side of September of 2011. So this might actually be a leftover from the 2010 group. So it may not be quite available yet. But anyway, it's still good for another few months. So I'm going to pop it open and have it. The ESBs are one of my favorite styles, one of my favorite styles of beer, one that I have usually when I'm just lounging around having a beer. So there goes the cap, and I already know there's a nice strong malty character going on. I'm going to pour it into my Oktoberfest glass, which is the one I like to use at this time of year. And as I pour it, I'm already noticing the typical bitter looking beer, the dark, deep amber pour that comes with a bitter. And almost a reddish hue, a mahogany reddish hue that goes on in here as well, with a whole lot of carbonation going on as well. Had a pretty good head based on the way I poured it. Now, this particular beer comes in at an ABV of 6.0%, which is a little higher than the standard bitter. Most bitters run between the upper 4s to the lower 5s. So at 6.0%, this is a slightly higher ABV than is typical of an ESB. Well, let's get right into the aroma right now. For sure, it's got a nice toasty, malty aroma going on. Lots of malts, overpowering just about everything else, but not to the point where they're too overpowering. They're just the first sensation that hits the nose is a nice, sweet, malty, caramel toffee type character. The hops are on the back side, kind of in the background, but just enough to remind you they're there. Let's give a taste. You know, I love ESBs. It's really one of my favorite styles. The one that everyone tries to emulate is Fuller's ESB, the London ESB. That's probably considered one of the best ones in the country, actually in the world. But this one has a nice, nice light body. The malty characteristic tends to lighten up the body a little bit in this particular style. You know, it's very straightforward, but you know, there's also a good hoppiness going on as well in the taste. So lots of malts up front, you know, a strong, solid, sweet maltiness, followed by a nice, bitter hoppiness in the backside. So it's the best of both worlds all at once. Really well balanced. Neither the malts or the hops outdo the other one. In some respects, this almost tastes like a red, but it's definitely got the bitter characteristic, that sweetness that really, the sugar sweetness that comes with so many bitters out there. This particular one is brewed with Whitbread hops, which is a traditional English style hop. Whitbread is one of them they brew with, and also the East Kent Goldings, according to their website. But I gotta say, this is really one of the beers from Gritty that I like a lot. Gritty's always comes across as a bit on the grainy side to me. I'm not sure if it's the type of water they use or the type of yeast they use or whatever. And it's not that I don't like Gritties. I actually do tend to like Gritties, but I would say of the Gritties that I drink, this one is probably my favorite because it seems to taste to me the closest in the style it represents. In a way, it's kind of complex. The malts really come up front. The hops just leave A bit of a bitterness at the end. They kind of swirl around. You get this kind of aftertaste of hops that are clinging to the back of my throat. Not a bad beer though. It is a nice beer, but you know, it's too bad they don't brew this one year round, because I don't see why they only brew this one in the fall. To me, it's a perfectly good year-round beer, but Gritty's has chosen to brew it only in the fall and give it the title Halloween Ale, as opposed to Gritty's ESB. I bet if they called it Gritty's ESB, it might actually sell a little better. You might be able to sell more of it and drink it more often. But that's okay. I do like this beer. It's an enjoyable beer, and it's one of Gritty's better ones in my opinion. Again, this is Gritty's Halloween Ale. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.